What is up, everyone? Welcome to the show. I hope this finds everybody wonderfully today. Oh, man. So, there's a lot of rumors and speculation going around right now. FTR, as of 1 hour ago, as reported by SB Nation, has decided on their pro wrestling future. Uh, there was rumors recently that they got locked into a long-term deal with AEW. But he said zero has changed, meaning their deals are still coming to an end next month. So, with that being said, if that's the case, and like I say, this is reported by SB Nation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check them out. I don't know. But I'm just telling you what was just reported that I just read. That's like a breaking news headline right out the gate for the show. So, with that being said, if FTR is leaving, I'm not going to be surprised if they don't sign anywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a Legends deal with the WWE because they are, two men who are starting to focus on the twilight of their career as opposed to active everyday rosters. WWE has a hell of a schedule. It's very hard to keep that pace. Um, I I can imagine what that pace is with the amount of travel that they do. I'll put it that way. Is there the likelihood that even on the indies you could run into that? Of course there is, because when you're working for a dozen companies, or you're traveling every weekend, but you got your shoe job during the week, there comes to be a point in time where the burnout's real. So it's just something to keep in mind. See here, Jason David, what is up, man? How are you? Uh, Welcome to the show. Uh, got any thoughts on anything I got to say? Go ahead and put it out there, man. Um, but so with that being there, man, April, you never know where they're gonna go, dude. I I would love to see him back in the WWE. I wouldn't be against that because I think that there's unfinished business there. I think that there's unfinished great matchups there. Um, would I like to see them versus KO and Sammy? Maybe that might be fun. I would love to see them and the Usos going at it again. I think that would be fantastic. The kicker becomes face versus heel, right? So obviously the bloodline are the cool bad guys. So if you have the classic good guys versus the quintessential, that's how you pronounce that word, by the way, for anybody who didn't know, it's quintessential bad guys, then that would work fantastically. But in the case of even seeing them go against another pair of a babyface tag team, i.e., currently looking like it's going to be KO and Sammy, that'd be fantastic as well. Or seeing them up against the New Day, as long as everybody conducts themselves, under their under their banner, everything would be fine. I don't see the issue in a solid face versus face with respect at the end matchup. I think that's good shit. But what do I know? I'm just some random podcast guy sitting here in front of all of you. Now, once again, it's also my opinion. So my opinion is probably very different than a lot of other people's. Uh, I personally enjoy watching, you know, predominantly WWE product. I'm not going to deny that. There are segments and parts of AEW that I do enjoy watching. However, though, I think the part that throws me off the most when it comes to AEW is the randomness. I don't feel like everything's very thought out or very planned out, but that's, like I say, that's just me. Um, when it comes to Impact, Impact's got some of the best storylines going consistently, best storylines going in the last probably 6 months to 18 months. It's been there. Oh, here we go. Could have Team FTR, or could have FTR team with Cody Rhodes. To me, it would be like NWO, Hall, Nash, and Hogan. Ah, that would have Shane. I see what you're going for, and I'm not entirely against the idea. However, I think that would have looked better as WWE guys going to AEW and pulling that off, which is kind of what they're doing now with the ladies calling themselves the Outcasts or whatever, the original Outcasts, or I Tony Storm, Soraya, and Ruby Soho. That's what you're getting out of them currently. Once again, not a bad thing, but are you going to have them? In my book, it makes their homegrown talent look weaker. There's no such animal as a homegrown talent anymore unless they start at NXT in the PC and grow from there. There's no such animal as a homegrown talent, period, anywhere, period, ever, period. Because everybody's doing the indie thing. Now, when they pull, let's say they pull a collegiate wrestler, you got Spencer Lee or whatever that just lost. He was the number one seed and lost to this kid. I don't even know the kid's name. But anyway, let's say that they took him to the Performance Center, like they did with Parker Boudreaux, and, develop him from there. Then that would be considered a homegrown talent because they weren't anywhere else doing it before. Whereas everybody else is essentially coming from the indies. It's really no different than the territory days where, as the circus traveled around the country, they moved people, pieces, parts, and places and things around the country with them as well. It still even happens today where some indie shows will travel to a different area and be like, hey, man, look, we can set you up with a deal for this guy if you set us up with a deal for that guy and or that tag team or that lady or whatever the case may be. You see that a lot. That still happens today. I just find it odd that it would be, FTR and Cody. It doesn't fit right now. Or at least not in my book. It doesn't fit right now. I'm hopeful that FTR and Punk still do the one thing with the Elite and then lose, and lose to the Elite, and that's kind of like their way out is they lose to the Elite. I think that has legs because that gets them out in the clear. That gets Punk kind of stuck with a L, and it's going to develop Punk further, coming back bitter about the younger gen and everything else. He's going to sound like a boomer where he's the most anti-boomer style of person that there is. It's weird. And I don't even know how I can put that into, how I can fathom that because I don't understand the boomer era conversation thing because if I look at the future, I'm not really pleased at what I'm seeing in the future period for people because there's an entire lack of respect for each other and respect for anything, legacy, history, entity, anything with this current gen. So I'm like, I don't know how that would fit, but I guess they could make it fit. And Punk being kind of a political guy when it comes to the way he talks and the way he does things, including having conversations on air, he'll take minor digs into politics. Funny enough, I don't know if that would be something that would flip him as well. I don't know if that's how they're going to go about it. It's quite possible that he does it. Me personally, I don't want anybody to know my political thought process, quite simply because if I did that, I would alienate half of my audience, whichever way I went. So you want to know what my political affiliations are? It's really simple. You come to South Carolina, you come to the upstate. We can go get a drink, have a cigar, and we can have a chat. There we go. Talk about it like adults. Beyond that, I got nothing for you. That's just how I'm wired. I am not built to sit here and have this conversation on air. Some people actually did approach me about doing a political or news talk podcast, and I'm like, I'm not your guy. I haven't watched the news in like 3-4 years, so I couldn't help you. It's just not me. See here. I am still sitting here getting everything set up. So I want to make sure that we've got all I've got everything laid out right. I took notes. I watched as much as I could watch this week. It's been a busy week. So I hope everybody out there is doing well. Let's see here. Let's see. How about this? Everybody's been hitting me up about the reunion thing. I'm not going to get into the reunion yet. That was Friday night, so we're going to talk about Raw before we talk about anything else. Um, because Monday Night Raw was a fantastic show as well this week. Uh, they are slowly ticking towards everything they need to get going on, and it's it is building up. Just slow builds, nice slow builds. I like slow marinated. And if you want to compare this to grilling food, look at it this way, man. When you marinate and then you smoke it, it takes longer to get there, but the final product is fantastic. Ooh, Timothy Godfrey wants me to talk about Dom and Ray. Okay. Uh, I will definitely bring up that. I do like the way that that's slowly ticking in. I have a feeling that what you're going to see is before they do anything with the Hall of Fame, I have a feeling that it's going to get finalized that that's what happens. I I hate to put the house on it, but I would really hate to see them soil the Hall of Fame with that. You've had fans run in and things like that, and that fan got his face pummeled by you know Tyson Fury and damn Dax Harwood, dude. That's good. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not really cool with the conversation show, the real show, having work in it. I'm not into it. I do not like that idea. I feel like that in my book sets a bad tone. It puts a bad taste in everybody's mouth for the show because you're blurring the lines on what's supposed to be real. I don't like it at all. I like what I see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and occasionally on Saturday and occasionally on Sunday. I don't need it to occur at a Hall of Fame ceremony. I if we were to attend one locally, Timothy, let me put it to you like this, Timmy Godfrey. Let's say that you and I rode to one locally and some dumb shit happened that built to a match that was happening the next day, I would be like, uh, that's your hook. If you needed that to be your hook, then the story didn't have legs to begin with. It didn't have enough weight to carry or pick up or go on its own to begin with. And like I say, I could be 100% wrong, but it's my opinion, and I'm entitled to that. Everybody out there is entitled to their opinion. And whether you think I'm an asshole or whether you think I'm a prick or whether you think I'm the best show out there or whether you think I'm the worst show out there, I promise you I'm not the worst because you can see worse easily on social media. I'm not the only moron that has just jumped on air. I'm undoubtedly not the best because I'm not getting paid the most money. So there you go. We can put it that way. Let's see here. I would be disgusted because the refs aren't even in uniform at those events. Exactly. It would be stupid. It just wouldn't make sense, in my opinion, for that to happen. Now I don't even really want him inducted by Dom. I I don't know who you would get to do that. Let's see. Shane hit me. How would you have Ray finally accept the challenge from Dom? Do you think Dom would put his hands on his mom? I think it would be the only way for Ray to accept the challenge. If anything, I would actually say it wouldn't be Dom's mother, Ray's wife. It would be Malia or Aaliyah. I'm sorry, Aaliyah, Ray's daughter, that they would hit. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. If it coincided with a show that I might could see it, but it just doesn't work in my opinion. I'm with you. In my book, it just doesn't work. It's got to be done differently. Like perhaps the show before that, where they're trying to figure out who's inducting them and so on and so forth. Then that happens. Okay, now we're talking. Like Aaliyah gets in Dominic's face and you did that, and he just smacks her in the face. Okay, perfect. Or Rhea hits her. There we go. That's going to fuel that fire enough to make it work. But just to straight up have that occur. I'm out. Deal me out of that hand. I want no parts of it. I don't like it. Of course, we started off Monday Night Raw with Edge challenging Finn Balor to a Hell in a Cell match at Mania. Now, can I have Brood Edge versus Demon Finn? Like, am I allowed to have that? Am I allowed to have that? Judgment Day Demon Finn. I mean, I don't want him coming out in the red and the black, paint that he used to do. Make it purple and black. Kind of like an off kilter version of Venom paint that he did, like a Venom mixed with Green Goblin paint or something. Let's go. Let's go. I'm in. Let's do this. I'm all about it. Dig that. That would be fun. Then you had Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio defeating Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis. I get it because they're keeping the Judgment Day strong going into Mania because more than likely, Edge is going to beat Finn in this one. Rhea's walking out with a strap. Don't know what they're doing with Priest at Mania. No idea yet. And I'm going to go ahead and say, let's just call a spade that Dominic and Ray go at it. I'm going to say that Ray's going to beat Dom. I'm just going to say that. Dude, I like the fact that they're doing Hell in a Cell as well. The kicker is I haven't seen the logistics of the building, so I don't know how I don't know how it's going to lay out in there. My fear would be if somebody's up in the, in the nosebleeds, so to speak, that their view of the actual ring would be impeded, even though they're going to have those gigantic screens to watch it from, and you get to see all the best stuff there anyway. But that kind of defeats the purpose of being there in my book. People often say if you want, you want that real up close and personal wrestling experience, you could pay 5, 10, 15, 20, or $25 and get a great seat at an indie show and you're ringside or, close to it. Whereas if you pay $25, you can't even smell the building that the WWE or AEW's in. Maybe not. I'm sure there's tickets around there for both shows around $25, but probably not, WrestleMania. So much to it. We actually have friends who are going to be there, so that's cool. See, I have heard people get the nosebleeds just to be able to say they were there. Hey, dude, look, I've considered it before. I'm probably going to make a run to do a Mania week at one point in the next couple of years. I'm going to make a point to do that. It's going to be in the next couple of years. I don't really want to go to Cali. I'm not going to deny that I really don't want to go to California to do that. I would rather either be somewhere here on the East Coast, preferably, let's go to Florida. We are going down to Florida for that. I should have gone last time, to be quite honest. I should have gone the last time they were in Florida. I had 2 or 3 invitations to go, and I was just not in a position to go. And I don't mean financially. I mean personally. I was not in a position to go. Let's see. You want in? Okay, I'll keep you posted. But Big Dog, understand this. We're talking travel and hotel and the show, and Daddy don't do shit seats. So sorry. I'll let you know what the price tag is, but I'm not staying in a hotel room that looked like it's out of a 1970s porno like I did in Athens, Georgia. No, right near the Georgia Dome. Not happening. Not happening at all. And then as far as it goes, I'm at least going to sit. If I got to sit, I'm at least going to sit in, if I'm not sitting on the ground level, I'm sitting in the next concourse up, and that's it. I'm not interested in going above and beyond that. It's just not me. I got it, bro. Enough with enough notice for vacation. Oh, dude, yeah, no problem. No problem. We will. You'll know far in advance before I decide to make that trip. You will know way in advance before I make that trick. But either way, Damian Priest, Dominic defeated Gargano and Loomis. I am a firm believer that Dexter Loomis and Damian Priest could have just a straight up match against each other and it'd be money. I like both of those guys. I enjoy watching both of them work. And I don't care what anybody said. I love the serial killer gimmick. I am a huge serial killer fan. I like Dexter. Okay, I like Dexter, the show Dexter. Love it. Uh, uh, Good serial killer slasher movies. You know, seen Scream 1 through 6. Uh, Hellraiser, Jason Voorhees, all the Friday the 13th, all the Nightmare on Elm Street. Seen all that shit. Love all that shit. But as far as it goes, Dexter Loomis gimmick is fine. I dig the fact that he doesn't talk, but he will like draw things or just do things to freak people out. That's work. That's psychology. When you don't have to talk and you can still make it big. Undertaker didn't talk for the longest time, and then he started saying "rest in peace." Kane never talked for the longest time, and then he sock it or whatever. That worked too. It's worked for a multitude of guys, man. So people can't tell me that that doesn't happen, and it won't work. Um, could they split no, 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 not even close. No, I would say that you will be hard pressed to see Damian Priest in a main event title picture in the next 3 years, maybe 5. I don't expect to see Damian Priest near a heavyweight title for at least the next 3 years. I just don't. And it's not because he's not over. It's not because he's not good in the ring. It's just because there's so much talent on the roster that could you imagine them putting the belt? Think about right now, today, snapshot in your head. Can you imagine them putting the belt on Damian Priest before Sami Zayn? And I was never a big Sammy fan. So I don't want anybody getting confused by that. I was never a big Sammy fan. His most recent run as the Bloodline Sammy Uso, I've loved it because it was entertaining. He wasn't garbage on the mic, and he was able to do more dastardly things in the ring. He didn't look like a punk bitch like he did when he was a bad guy with the Intercontinental title or US title, one of the two. He looked like shit. He was boring as hell there. In NXT, he was the little engine that could. He was the little Sammy that could, and that was fine, and it worked. Wasn't bad, but it didn't really. It really didn't tickle my fancy. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm with you 100%. I see the tag titles going to him and KO. I don't see them holding it long. I just see that happening. Um, to be fair, if I was a betting man, I'd lose a lot of money because what I want to see and what I think will happen are two different things. What I really want to see is the New Day at Mania messing with the Miz the whole time. All three of them, Big E, Kofi, and Woods, messing with Miz the entire time. I don't want to see Miz host anything. Could drop the tag titles Judgment Day in time, yeah, but yet again, you got to have a team out of the Judgment Day that's worth putting that together. If anybody, if anybody in that, uh, out of the three men there is going to be going after a heavyweight title, it's going to be Balor. It's not going to be anybody else. It's going to be Balor. Austin Theory will have the title before Damian Priest. Priest is better for the IC or the US title. Hey, Shane, I like that. To be fair, I would actually like to see Theory feud with Priest. I think that would be fun. I'm fairly confident they've gone at it before, whether it's NXT or Indies or whatever. But because Punishment Martinez and Austin Theory, I think he's always been Austin Theory, even when he was wrestling out of Georgia, when he was wrestling here in South Carolina and over in North Carolina. I'm pretty sure he was always Austin Theory before he ever got to, was it Evolve? PWG. It might have been Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. There's a lot there. Dude, you can scour the indies and see especially in our region. You can scour these indie promotions and start seeing, names from the past pop up. You'll see our truth, and you'll see uh Austin Theory pop up. You will see JD Drake. You're going to see a lot of guys that were around. Colby Carino. If you don't know who Colby Carino is, I'm sorry about your luck, because he's about to, if he signed that deal, I can't wait to see him. Austin Theory also got stunned by one JD Drake at Evolve. Yeah. Austin Theory wins versus Cena. I think so too. I don't see the reason for John to win at Mania. I really don't see that. I don't see a need for that to happen. I don't really see a need for John at Mania, period. But in my book, if you're going to push Theory, and this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. If you're going to push Theory, just have him win matches. Yeah, but you're only as good as your opponent that you're beating. So, and you can, and go ahead and quote me on that. Take it back to your local indie promotion and start talking about this shit, because they're going to hate me. And I don't care. The reality is, if you're that good in the ring and you can carry a match by yourself, why are you wrestling somebody subpar? You're not going to get any better just because of the rep. You don't get overly stronger, progressively stronger, or progressively larger by pushing less weight than you did the rep before. So if your quality is not going up, neither's your skill. I really hate to put it that way, but unfortunately, whether we're talking on the big leagues or we're talking on the independent circuit, it doesn't matter. If you're not in there with somebody better and wrestling somebody progressively better than you on a pretty consistent basis, you're going to flounder and sit in mid-range hell forever. Um, this is a huge statement right here. John loses nothing with the loss. Exactly. It's not going to hurt Cena to take a loss at Mania. Um, he's. I don't understand why people would think that. I don't understand why people would believe, oh, but it's going to bury Cena. Bury who? Bury the guy that should probably have broken Flair's record, not tied it. Bury the guy that. Come on, man. Give me a break. I don't agree with that at all. Exactly. It's John freaking Cena. Exactly. Omos threw Brock Lesnar out of the ring after escaping from Suplex City. I'm I'm still not 100% sold on this match. In order for Omos to get better, he has to wrestle higher caliber talent. Brock Lesnar is the upper echelon of professional wrestling talent for that style in the world. In the world. There isn't anybody on that brawler fighter level quite like Brock Lesnar. I would love to see Brock Lesnar go against guys, and this is going to sound way out of left field. I would love to see Brock Lesnar go up against somebody like a Jonathan Gresham. I would love to see that. I think that would be fantastic. I think seeing Brock versus maybe a Braun Breaker would be fun. I think seeing Brock versus guys like that. Oh, dude, could you imagine Brock Lesnar versus Josh Alexander? Ooh, that would be fun. You see what I'm saying? That level and that caliber of talent. Even Brock, I'm not going to say Brock versus Claudio, but Brock versus Claudio wouldn't be bad. I think they're both pretty decent uh, as far as it goes. Claudio is fantastic in the ring. His mic skills are eh. I don't just judge people from bell to bell. I judge them the whole gambit. If your social media game is shit, you're not helping yourself. If your social media game has absolutely nothing to do with wrestling, okay, that's fine. But if you're doing wrestling related stuff on social media and it's not and it's still shit, then you got problems. Um, Look at Cena. Cena very seldom does a lot of wrestling stuff on his social media, but the stuff he does do that's pertinent to the situation is decent. It's solid. WWE has a guy on the roster I'd like to see take on Brock. How about Chad Gable? I think that Chad Gable versus Shelton Benjamin would be more fun. And here's why I say that. Brock Lesnar's left leg is the size of Chad Gable as a person. I really think that if they went to go get tied up, Brock Lesnar would snap him, and not in a good way. I would be cool with this. How do I feel about Lashley's statement with him and Brock being a tag team? I'd be fine with it because there's not a damn soul out there that's going to want to step in the ring and beat him. It'd be the odd couple. It would make sense, but I mean, it'd be Sheamus Cesaro again or Drew and Sheamus again. Why is it always Sheamus in that situation? It's weird. There's another rumor going out there that they're going to go back to Pete Dunne instead of Butch. Thank you very much. I hope to God that's true because I'm not a big Butch fan. I like the attitude in the ring, but as far as the acting like a rabid dog and shit is just weird. I'm not all about that. Cody Rhodes versus LA Knight. Look, yeah, that was fun because in my book, LA Knight, dude, coming out of WrestleMania, I don't know what they're going to do with him at Mania, if anything. When they come out of Mania, I would not be surprised if you see that guy getting pushed up towards a title or maybe even the title. Because we're still not certain on who's going to have the world's heavyweight title. To be fair, you have the Raw Women's Champion, you have the SmackDown Women's Champion, right? You could have a WWE Universal Women's Champion. You could also do the same with the men's. I don't like that idea because now it looks like everybody's getting a belt, but at the same time, their roster is big enough to where, and their roster is solid enough to where that could be a thing. Now, what does that do for your Intercontinental and your US? Well, with that being said, you could yet again, I guess it could just be a building system. Perhaps that would work. There's some things out there that I think could go. There's also some things I don't think could go. But in reality, money's going to continue to make money. I have no idea what they're going to do. Bronson Reed versus Elias. Uh, I didn't enjoy this. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to say that I enjoy this. I'm not a big Bronson Reed guy. Um, I wasn't a fan when I seen whatever they were calling him in Impact. There was a lot of things I didn't care for. And it's just like, man, why? Why are we doing this match? I don't get it. Now, Austin Theory versus Angelo Dawkins was fantastic. Both of these guys can go. It's 100% clear to me that Angelo Dawkins can become somebody. Uh, I was not sold on the fact that he could be a mainstay title contender. I'm still not quite there, but I can see him in a solid mid card title. To be fair, I think in the next couple of years, you're going to see Theory and Montez battling for the main title. Just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Uh, Rey Mysterio refused Dominic's challenge. We already talked about that. Seth Rollins defeating Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin has the personality and appeal of a school bus fire. There's a lot of screaming involved, and nobody wants to look at it. That's about it. I'm not sure what else to say. I'm not sure what else to do with this guy. I would hope that they've got something going on. They've got something in mind with him, but it doesn't fit to me. It does not fit well. It doesn't fit the bill. It feels he just doesn't feel like he's where he could be. I think the lone wolf gimmick in my book, the lone wolf shtick he had, was probably his best run. Sad Corbin wasn't bad. Sad Corbin wasn't bad Corbin. Happy Corbin was kind of lame. But then putting it with JBL obviously didn't work, unfortunately. He didn't cut his hair. His hair fell out. There's a difference, big dog. There's a big difference. He cut his hair out. Because his hair fell out, so he had to cut it off. He would have had a skullet hawk like Heyman, but hanging down, down to his back, down to his ass. Bianca Belair defeated Chelsea Green. Asuka saved the EST from a post match attack. I get why they did this, but it's one of those things of, Asuka's wanting to keep her looking strong so that way when she beats her, it's got the best vibes for Asuka's title run. That I like. I'm a big I'm a big believer that this is where Bianca Belair loses this title. Is at Mania. She's held it for almost a year. I'm good. Um, she's gonna have the record for longest reigning. Oh, she's already got the record for longest reigning African American champion, which is fantastic. If nobody else, she deserves it the most. Um, this current run of hers has been the best run for her promo wise, match wise, everything wise. This has been her run right here. Uh, and realistically, when she if she drops the title at Mania and she takes some time off, 2 months, just go chill. Nobody's gonna blame her at all. Nobody's gonna blame her or be bothered by it at all because she's earned it. She's earned a nice, solid vacation in my book. Kevin Owens battled solo in a street fight. I mean, there was a lot there to it. And in the end, you ended up having, all the bloodline come out and beat his ass and left him laying in the ring. Of course, Solo won this, which that's kind of going to be the oddball for me. What are they going to do with Solo once all the gold's gone? Because you're going to have everybody else trying to get their gold back. What you going to do with Solo? Are you going to push him and put him in some gold? Is that possible? That's maybe. See what I'm saying? There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. I'm still kind of bitter about the fact that they put the belt on him and then made him give it up in NXT. That was weird. I don't like how or why they did that. It felt awkward to me. Scott Larson of hashtag Truth just chimed in. He said that's why she's the EST of WWE. Yes, she is. She most certainly is. But the EST of WWE is going to lose, in my opinion, at WrestleMania. I believe Asuka's going to take that one. I can't wait till we do. We've got a couple of like preview prediction shows that we're going to do during the weekend of Mania. It's like myself, Stravy Stones, and a couple of other ones. We're going to jump in, do some stuff. I think Dalton's going to be out there from the Swanton Pod is going to be out there. And we're going to talk with him live from the arena. So that'll be fucking cool. I can't wait for that. Let's see here. We are going to talk about NXT. Gallus defeated Pretty Deadly for the and retain the NXT tag team titles. Good, because I do not like it Pretty Deadly on any level. I don't like them on the mic. I'm not a fan of their in-ring work, and I don't like the gimmick. I like nothing about them. Pretty Deadly. There's nothing about them that appeals to me. Um, I just don't. I understand it. I understand it, but I don't get it. If that makes sense. Like, I understand what they're going for. That doesn't mean I like it or enjoy it or want to see it again. So, we can just put it there. Gallus is undoubtedly in my book. I want to see Gallus versus FTR. Like, please take my money. I don't have my wallet on me. It's in my other pants. Just take my money and let me see that. I'm all in. God, that's a poor phrase now. I'm all about that. Let's go with that. I'm all about it. Give me Gallus versus FTR. Thank you. A Pretty Deadly outfit in my. Come on, man, dude. If you don't stop with the man thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna be surprised if people don't get canceled over how many times they say "man" on a freaking podcast. Like, somebody out there is gonna be like, you should be saying "they" instead of "man" 75,000 times in 3 hours. But whatever. Um, no, I I don't care for Pretty Deadly on any level of it. Zoe Stark defeating Sol Roca. Dude, both of these women can go. I am a fan of both of them, so this is my type of thing that I like to see. I enjoy watching both of them work. I think Sol has a hell of a career ahead of her. She's very young and she can go already. I think she's going to be one of your next top tier competitors for the women's division for the next 5-10 years in my book. Zoe Stark should have already been champion and been on the main roster and probably competing for, if not already won a championship on the main roster. My opinion. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn being a tag team still weirds me out just a little bit, but I like it. I am a huge Isla Dawn fan. I liked her in NXT UK. I loved her in NXT UK, and I love her here. I think she is fantastic. I like her. I like the shtick. I like her on the mic. I enjoy watching her work. Period. Alba Fire is fine. I can't remember what she used to be called. I don't remember. She was fine on the NXT Women's UK roster. She's been fine on the NXT Women's roster. There's nothing wrong with her. But man, I'm telling you what I know. Those two defeated Caden Carter and Katana Chance, as well as Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. Ivy Nile is another very talented worker. I believe she has legitimacy to her, so I really like watching her. Tatum Paxley, yes, some and not some. She's fine, but Ivy Nile, in my book, needs to be going for that title right now. Isla Dawn could be in there. They could put Katana Chance or Caden Carter in there as well, but definitely Zoe Stark and Solar Raka. Dude, just good shit there. Odd is the next match I'm going to talk about. Dabakato versus Apollo Cruz. Dude, where the hell's Dabakato been? He's been gone for like ever. And then him versus Apollo, okay, I get it because of their history and their past and screwing him over and everything. Uh it it almost feels like it missed the mark for me. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody else, but it feels like they missed the mark for that one. So either way, I'm hopeful that this they're not going to carry this one on too long. But either way, solid match for those two guys. GG Dolan, another one I very, very much love to watch work in NXT. I'm a huge fan of GG Dolan, but I like GG Dolan anyway as Presley. Ah shit. What was it? Priscilla Presley before? Something like that. Something Presley. I can't remember. I've got a terrible memory, so don't quote me on that. But I always thought she was cool anyway. But now seeing her on NXT as Gigi Dolan, I'm down with that. She defeated Kiana James in a NXT Women's Championship qualifying match. What they're doing is they're doing a NXT at I think they're doing it at Stand and Deliver. They're gonna do a ladder match for the NXT Women's title because what's her name had to give it up. Ah shit. I just saw her. Roxanne Perez had to give it up or they stripped her of it because she collapsed. There's a medical issue going on with her. Did did you just not want to put it on the girl she lost or she beat, and that's why you didn't do it? I mean, in reality, you could have had the ladder match happen with the other woman holding it going in there. It really, in my book, it wasn't going to hurt anything. But what do I know? I was schmuck in a chair, you know. Uh, it's one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. And we can go ahead and jump right now and talk about AEW's Dynamite. Yes, I watched the show. No, I didn't pay a whole bunch of attention because I only watched bits and pieces of it. But I watched enough of it to know that all right, the opening segment was fine with the bar mitzvah. Okay, that was fine. That's how we started tonight's show was the bar mitzvah. So here's what I'm going to go at. Here's where I'm going to get at with this. The four pillars of the company come out, and they're all. I guess they're going to do something. So if that's the case, are you're not going to put the title on the line against all in a fatal four way. That would just be ludicrous in my book. Unless you made it an elimination matchup, there's really nothing that sells me on that. You've got Darby, Jungle Boy, and Sammy Guevara, and you got MJF. So you've got two faces and two heels, essentially. Essentially, two faces and two heels. I don't ever see them putting the AEW Heavyweight Championship on Darby. I don't. I have a really hard time seeing it happening to Sammy Guevara. I don't like Sammy for anything. I don't like his gimmick. I don't like him. He's okay to watch in the ring, but I'm just I'm not a fan. Jungle Boy, I'm more entertained by than Sammy or Darby. Um, he reminds me of a smaller Bret Hart style guy that flies. Is the best way I could put it. A Bret Hart built looking dude that's just smaller could still work the tech, and I like the guy. I like him for that. MJF's probably is the top heel in that company by a long shot. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the best heel in the industry because that's subjective. Um, well, it's also opinionated, which everything is in wrestling, right? I just don't see how they would make that fallout work. So we'll see what they do. I don't know what happens. I don't know where they're going to go with it. Let's hope that they do something with it. You had Hangman Adam Page with the Dark Order going up against the Blackpool Combat Club, which is John Moxley, Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio, and Ring of Honor Pure Champion in Wheeler Yuta. I guess after the blatant heel turn that it was, here we go with the Combat Club. Look, the BCC ended up getting the win because Moxley tapped out the other guy. Who did he tap out? Grayson? Yeah, he tapped out Grayson. Dude, why? Leave me alone. Um, he tapped out Grayson, and look, it is what it is. But in the end, I am hopeful that they're gonna have way better stuff coming for each of those factions down the line. I can't see how they're gonna do anything different with the Dark Order. I feel like that's just kind of floundered the last several months, but I could be wrong. Maybe they're going to turn it up, and maybe they'll give the Dark Order beating the House of Black, possibly. That might be kind of fun. I have no idea because I'm not a big Dark Order fan either. I love the House of Black. I think they're awesome to watch. They're undoubtedly one of the most entertaining things on television weekly. Um, So Jade Cargill defeat Nicole Matthews. No idea who Nicole Matthews is, so I'm not even going to pretend I know. Uh, Pump kick pinned her with Jaded, so it was a squash. Then you get Taya Valkyrie debuting. Excellent. There's another solid, talented worker. Maybe we can see something develop here. Maybe we'll see something out of this. Uh, let's see here. The debut of QTV. Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall. Look, QT Marshall. I'm sorry, it's QT Marshall. Not QT Marshall, it's QT Marshall. If you don't believe me, go ask him yourself. He will correct you. He will correct a ring announcer. I've seen him do it. I've seen it in person. I've got it on film, as a matter of fact. Anyway, uh, let's see. Orange Cassidy versus Jeff Jarrett for the International Championship match. Okay, look. They retired the All Atlantic title and gave Orange Cassidy the new International Championship. Why did they rename it? I thought it was unique. I thought it was different. I mean, you could have called it the Double A title for short, which sounds kind of cool. And it's kind of like an ode to one of the guys in your company, Arn Anderson, Double A Arn Anderson, Double A. I kind of like that, but now it's the international champion. Kind of resembles just a wee bit the intercontinental champion. I don't know. What do I know? What do I know? I just feel like it's weird. Now we hear from the outsiders. Oh, I mean the outcasts. Sorry. Ruby Soho, Tony Storm, and Saraya. Um, we're hearing the same thing out of them that we heard out of the NWO. We left this other company. We're gonna change this game. You need to change the game there. Okay? You need to. You need to update this. You need to upgrade this. You need to make a change. It needs to be positive. And I don't mean positive for cancer or positive for AIDS. You need to make it a positive change because, in my estimation, in my opinion, the women's division has struggled. AEW took a rapid decline since its debut 3 or 4 years ago, however many years ago, 3 years probably, right? 3 years, 2 years, whatever, who cares? Here's my thing. I did not enjoy seeing Riho as a champion. Tony Storm did absolutely nothing for the belt when she was champion. Britt Baker is the best thing you got going for you and has been. With all these other people in that company, it's time to bring them up. Okay, it's time to bring them up. I love Jamie Hayter. I've liked Jamie Hayter since day one, though. But that's a whole nother ballgame. I've been a fan of Hayter since day one. Lazarus Black has chimed in. He said, "Hey, bro, what is up, Laz? Congratulations on your win over the weekend, by the way." And I ain't gonna get into that. I ain't gonna get into it. So we had a AEW World Trios Championship match. It was the House of Black versus the Elite versus the JAS. Yeah, because Jericho's been on our TV pretty much weekly for the last 30 years. Oh, not 20 plus years. He's been on our TV weekly. Legitimately, he's been on TV weekly probably 25 years now. Damn near 25 years he's been on TV. But yeah, what do I know? As my biggest issue there is, dude, I don't like Matt Menard and I don't like the other guy. I don't like Sammy Guevara. I think Daniel Garcia is fantastic. I'm a firm believer that Daniel Garcia is like the best wrestler in JAS, other than Chris himself. But in my book, it just doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be what it is. But you know what? It's going to be what it's going to be, and it is what it is. Uh, I've never been a Young Bucks fan, so I'm not going to say anything about them. Kenny Omega, never been a Kenny fan, but Kenny's doing fine. He's fine in the ring, and the Bucks aren't bad to watch in the ring. You knew what you were getting out of this. You were getting a spot fest that was crazy. Um, House of Black ended up pinning Garcia because he's the weakest person out there according to their ranking system. And that's how the match ended. Now the Dark Order with Adam Page and the Blackpool Combat Club came all out. So now everybody's after this. It is weird that you've got the BCC, you've got all these factions are now going after the trios titles. Your top tier stars, Moxley, Omega, Page, Jericho, 4 former heavyweight champions are now faction based and going after trios titles. The only other person that was a champ, Punk, right? Yeah, Punk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right because you got Moxley's held it 2 or 3 times, Punk's held it twice, and here we are. Now it's MJF's. So yeah, I'm pretty confident with what I'm saying. You've got all that going on. I swear it's almost perfect that Punk jumps in with FTR and then ends up joining the Dark Order. There we go. Let Punk lead the Dark Order. That'll be fun. I bet you he'd have a great time with that. Uh, Pure sarcasm for anybody out there. That's pure sarcasm. They already have a former world champion leading them, just like the other factions do. But that was it for AEW Dynamite. Now, talking about Impact Wrestling. We're going to make this one quick because it's one of those things where I enjoyed what I caught of the show because I was kind of in and out on it. Uh, Crazy hectic week. What is up, Brian Sisk? How you doing, man? Uh, I was in and out on Impact. Just like I say, Thursday was hectic. Thursday was busy as hell. Uh, you had Singh defeat Zicky Dice. Not a big fan of Zicky. Really not. Johnny Swinger was cool. Not the biggest fan of Zicky Dice. Had Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham defeat Decay, which is Black Taurus and Crazy Steve. Dude, Bailey and Gresham together, that's some fun shit. I do like watching Mike Bailey. Let's see here. You had Steve Macklin defeating Heath. Haven't they been doing that for like a few months now? Why? Moving on. Had Vidal with Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans defeat Johnny Swinger with Zicky Dice. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. But dude, Savannah Evans is a beast. I don't know anybody if y'all don't know who Savannah Evans is. Savannah Evans is a beast. Um, a better announcer. She's awesome in the ring. Fantastic to watch. Let's see here. The Coven, which is Taylor Wilde and Kylan King, defeat the Knockout World's Women Tag Team Champions, the Death Dolls, which is Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary. And that's your new Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. Guys, you just saw Taya Valkyrie on AEW TV on Wednesday. Then they did this on Thursday, the 16th. It's legitimately a rehash from the old WWE was taped storyline shit. You know what I'm saying? Did that with Rick Rude, right? Yeah, it was Rick Rude. They ended up having Impact World Champion Josh Alexander, Rich Swann, and Frankie Kazarian versus the Bullet Club, which is the New Japan Strong Openweight Champion Kenta, Impact World Tag Champions Ace Austin and Chris Bay. Well, there was just a lot to that, but you ended up with the Bullet Club defeating the Impact team. So once again, it's just one of those things where if you're not regularly following Impact, which I follow it enough to where I know that they have some solid shit going on every week, but I don't follow it as intently as I do everything else because everything else takes up a lot of time. So, and you always got to look at how much time you're willing to invest in something. So you kind of got to, in my case, I have to pick and choose my battles. You've got 7 hours a week invested in WWE product. You've got another 3 invested in AEW, so now you're up to 10. So, you know, you're going to pick up that extra 2 hours, and then after that, are you going to go and check out any of the online stuff? You know, the New Japans or the NWA or the whatever. I'm really hopeful that the NWA changes their tune. And Billy Corgan, if you hear me, I do know that you know some people that I know. I know that you and I have some people that we talk to that, you know, talk to each other. I'm telling you, I believe a TV deal is the way to go. Can't facilitate it, but you know, I believe that would be the best way to do things. Getting back to it, we're going to talk about Friday night SmackDown. Cody Rhodes came out and tried to bring out Sammy and KO. Look here. Firm believer that KO and Sammy, I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, there's no way that this is how this is ending. It's not happening. Of course, later on in the night, we were, you know, proving what was to be right. But currently, it just, to start the show off that way and then end it that way, that shows that arc in the story that keeps you hooked from beginning to end. So there was a lot to it. I dig stuff like that. I like how they make the whole show kind of work together. It feels less hectic and less chaotic to me when the whole show kind of makes sense. Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley defeated Santos Escobar and Zelina Vega. Well, Zelina Vega looked fantastic on the red carpet at John Wick 4, and she didn't look fantastic getting her ass kicked by Rhea Ripley, but alas, here we are. They're going to make Rhea look strong. Rhea's going to, I swear, dude, Rhea's winning from Charlotte. I can't see this going any other way. Cannot see this any other way. More and more, Dominic Mysterio digging at Ray. Dominic Mysterio digging at Ray. I swear, it's going to be down to the wire. It's going to be like a last minute thing where they announce that this is happening. Like the Monday or the Friday before Mania, that's when it's finally going to come down to it. It's my opinion. It is really my opinion. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Tegan Knox and Emma to qualify for the WrestleMania Showcase. Not exactly sure what the WrestleMania Showcase is, but I'm sure A, somebody out there has the answer, or B, we're gonna learn more about it as we go there. Um, I don't know what the showcase is. Showcase of the Immortals. What is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be a match? Is that supposed to be a what? What is it? Is it just it's going to let them be on Mania? Okay, cool. They should be on Mania anyway, both of them. Uh, to be fair, I'm not going to say that Tegan Knox or Emma deserve to be on Mania because they haven't done much of anything in the last calendar year. Whereas Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez have done plenty of stuff of note in the last year. I think that those two being on Mania is definitely a good call. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley broke out into a hell of a brawl. What the hell was Charlotte wearing? I get it, but dude, she always dresses so odd to me. Xavier was defeating LA Knight with backwoods. All right, that was weird. I really didn't expect him to defeat LA Knight, period, because I feel like LA Knight's due to start getting to come up and heading into Mania season. Because, like I already said, I believe that after Mania, LA Knight is going to be, just catching that old rocket ship. I really believe he's going to be catching that rocket, heading up. They're going to be strapping the rocket boots to him. He's getting a major push. I don't know about major push, but I'm going to say he's going to get a pretty decent push. Drew McIntyre versus Sheaman ended in a no contest, resulting in a triple threat match for Mania. Yeah, it was already established as it was established as a triple threat, kind of, and then they changed it, and then they're back to it. I get it; they're trying to build that story up. Hmm. Here's the question. Here's the question. Do you let Sheamus get the win at Mania to finally have that Grand Slam? I like the idea. I really do. I do like the idea of that. Or it's an or. You have Gunta retain, huh? Or you have McIntyre win. To me, it makes no sense for McIntyre to win. It makes no sense for McIntyre to win. In my opinion, McIntyre actually takes the loss here. If I have to make it, if I had to write it, that's the way I look at it. And here's why. You want to keep Gunther strong by losing the title without losing the match. You don't want to have Gunther beat Sheamus again. You want Sheamus to get his. Sheamus ain't got long in this left. I don't know how much longer he has. I hope he wants to go another couple of years. But dude, he went through a lot to come back from his last time out. Um, so it's one of those things, man. I think that that's what they do here. I think that's the play. I think that's the only play that makes sense to me right now. Is you have Sheamus pin McIntyre to win the match. It's the only one that makes sense. And I'm keeping all this stuff in my head as best I can because when we do our prediction show, we're going to be doing the prediction with the card broken down for that day, and we're going to try to, keep that as close to real and close to accurate as possible. Kevin Owens emerged to save Sammy from a 2-on-1 Uso attack before reuniting with him, and a great hug to end that. Dude, SmackDown was on fire this week. I was happy to be able to sit back and watch that. I am trying to remember. I really am. I am trying to remember Rampage because I didn't. I'm trying to remember Rampage. Did I even watch Rampage? No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. I recorded Rampage. That's right. Didn't it come on like super late? Why in the hell did it come on at 11:30 at night? I remember sitting there watching it, but I have no idea. It did. It almost felt like a go home show for SmackDown. It really did. I look, we're getting close to it. Are they? Hold on. Let's take a look at the calendar. Hold on. Okay, so no, we got two more SmackDowns before before the thing. Now, I wonder if they're going to do one. When is the Hall of Fame? When's the WWE Hall of Fame? I gotta look more shit up now. Hold on, we gotta look and see when the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony is. Um, that's WrestleMania. There's a Superstore. Da, da, da. I'm scouring the internet looking for information right now for the Hall of Fame. It really did feel that way, Timmy. Good call. Really good call. Really solid call. Stand and deliver. Level up. After the bell. I really wish that they would have all of the Hall of Fame's ceremonies on Peacock so you could sit back and watch them all. That would be really fucking cool. I don't care what anybody says. That would be really cool. If we could go watch all the old Hall of Fame inductions, I would do that. I guarantee you, I would sit there and do that. The Great Muta is now announced as the Hall of Fame. Let's see. He's going in. I don't know who's going to induct him. Doesn't even say that. Da, 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 da. Him and Rey Mysterio, but it doesn't say. I I think it is Friday too, but I want to know, like for a fact, when it is. I know how to look it up. All right, so SmackDown. Here it is. SmackDown and the Hall of Fame ceremony are the same day. They're the same show, and that is on Friday the 31st. So there we go. Is that all right? So Ric Flair is inducting the Great Muta. Is that like 100% a lock, or is that just a rumor? Because I've heard that rumor already. I've also heard Sting's inducting him. Really? I've heard the well. Then I guess it's just a bunch of rumors floating around for who's inducting who. Um, yeah, you're gonna have the Hall of Fame and SmackDown happen at the same time. Cool. I mean, I'm down with that. Oh, it starts at 4:45 in the afternoon. Wow. Oh wait, yeah, because they're 3 hours ahead of us, and it's at the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles. So yeah, they're 3 hours ahead of us here on the Eastern Seaboard. Just for shits and giggles, I gotta know how much are tickets to this. How much are tickets for? You heard that he was on SmackDown Friday? Huh. All right. So current price ranges of tickets. There are some at $700, and there are some at $51 available. Good grief! I don't know if he was there, man. I don't know if he was there. There's still floor seats available. I think. Yeah, man. I'm seeing plenty of tickets. Yeah, $700 a piece. Wow. $700 per ticket for fifth row from the ring behind commentary. There are none available on the hard cam side. So you'll be seen because the hard cam side is, if you're looking at the diagram like I'm looking at, you got the entryway and you got the ring. There's this up here is hard cam, this is commentary, and then this still has floor seats available, but they're $700 a piece for SmackDown and the Hall of Fame. That's a lot. That is insane. Children ages 3 and older require a ticket. A child under the age of 3 is considered a lap child. Ooh. You know, I mean, my little guy is kind of little. I might be able to pass him off as being 3, but I don't think I can pass him off as being 2. I know I can pass him off for 4 because he's itty bitty, but I don't know about 2. Not that I would take him to that anyway. He would never make it through the show, not even a little bit. Too loud, too big, too many people. No, he couldn't do it. I could do it just fine. My daughter would love it, but my son, nah, he wouldn't. But $700 a damn ticket for close, then you got $50 a ticket in the nosebleeds at the very top. I'd rather be. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm dropping $7 if that's the case. I'm not going to the Hall of Fame induction to sit at the fucking top of an arena. I can't do that. I'm dropping 700 a ticket if that's the case. I can't for the life of me seeing wanting to go to that and wanting to experience it fully by sitting up in the rafters. Now, if that was the smoking section, maybe you have my answers. But I know it's not, so I don't want that. If I was in a private booth, yes, okay. Hey, look, Skybox, okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. But Gen Pop up there, no, no, not happening. Not happening. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. That's just ludicrous to me. And I don't mean one of the best rappers of our time, ludicrous. I mean it's ludicrous the idea of wanting to pay that amount of money to go sit up top. No, I'm gonna stay the hell home at that rate. I'm gonna watch this shit on TV for that money all day, every day. I watch this shit on TV. Uh, I was still trying to find that Rampage thing, but I don't know what the hell happened with Rampage. Um, because I thought Rampage happened. Didn't Rampage occur at least? Does anybody know? I don't know because I didn't watch it. I didn't get to watch Rampage this week. I was busy. Um, don't ask me what I was doing because I don't remember. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull it up on the cell phone. Let's see, the results came out from March 17th. Yeah, that's the correct day. Oh, let's see. Slam Dunk. The debut of Taya Valkyrie, Bollywood Boys showed up to take on Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Daniel Garcia went up against uh, Brody King and Powerhouse Hobbs, put the TNT title on the line against Ray Phoenix. So that was all of it. That was the 4 matches for it. I don't know what happened, but those were your 4 matches. So I gotta guess that's coming from the Bleacher Report because, like I say, I did not watch Rampage. I was hopeful to at least be able to know what the hell the results were. Um, I'm not going to touch Bleacher Report because I could give two shits less about this app. I feel like this app. I've had the Bleacher Report in the past, but I feel like they were. It just wasn't a good get. The app itself didn't provide me much of anything. But that is it for your coverage for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, I know most people out there already look at this shit, or they already heard it, or they've already listened to 7 other podcasters. Cool. That's good. Listen to everybody. Support everybody. That's kind of my thing. Um, Let me rephrase that. Support everybody until they disrespect you. Then thank you, but fuck you. That's all there is to it. And if you have any questions about that, the hotline's always open. You can always hit me up directly if you have any questions about who I'm talking about. I have a feeling that there's a podcast coming out of North Carolina that believes that I have like this disdain for them. It's 100% not the case. When I make fun of somebody's backgrounds, I wasn't making fun of theirs. When I make fun of what somebody covers, it wasn't you, buddy. I still listen to the person I believe has issue with me. I still listen to them every week when they're on Fridays. I listen to him every week. I think he does a fantastic job. Now, there's a couple of jabronis here in the Carolinas that put out a show, and it's the Drizzling Shits. But it's only the Drizzling Shits until they, fix a couple things. And what they got to fix is a relationship that they fucked up. So, the world knows. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't need to say it. If you want to fix things, you have your instructions on repairing it. I don't need to do anything. It's not on me. I said it in a post a couple weeks back for those of you that follow my personal social media. When you speak to me as though I already know everything. And the reason is because I get information from everywhere. I get information from everybody. I've got my hands in every pie, and I deal with almost every company out there. Whether you see me or not is subject to opinion. You never know where I'm at. And that's the greatest thing. You never know where I'm at. I know where I am. I know what I see. I know what I do. That's why I stay in the position I'm in. So, with that being said, once again, to that one group out there, thank you. Fuck you. Simple. You fix your shit. I'll make it right. Beyond that, guys, it's been a great show. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. We'll see you Thursday. Thursday night Indie Spotlight coming to you. We've got guests coming from, some company. More than likely coming out of North Carolina. More than likely it's going to be Extreme. More than likely we'll be at an indie show next weekend too. So we will catch up with you Thursday night. Then we'll be right back here for the Sunday show, The Wrestling Wire. Just like always, it's a repetitive nature. Got to be on time, and you got to be doing that thing. So thank you for being here. It's been real. It's been fun. And hell yeah, it's been real fun. Thus proclaimed. Oh, I got one last thing to say before I say thus proclaimed. I want to give a special shout out to XWW. That's right. I got to always throw out a shout out to XWW because we are part of XWW Extreme World Wrestling. We are part of them. We are on their streaming service. We are on their Roku app. You can see us on Roku TV. You don't have to just sit here and look at your phone, or you don't have to go online and look at the website, even though you can go to extremetvonline.com to sign up for their app. You get their streaming services. You got a handful of local independent wrestling promotions on there with their stuff getting shown. You've got all kinds of other content, originals, series, other podcasts even. Got a ton of content there. That's XWW. That's Extreme World Wrestling. Look for the app on Roku, which we're live on right now. And be sure you go check them out. Subscribe. It's $4.99 a month with your first couple days for free. Now, thus proclaimed, the same.